welcome back. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 40. We are in patch 6.0.3. I am your Warlock host, Belle. Lots of 6.1 news this week. Lots of goodies, lots of possibly baddies. There's selfies. We'll get into that a little bit later. We are down Lycan this week. He apparently, how dare him for having a life outside of us. That's not permitted in the Pwnecast situation. So we're very upset that he has a life that doesn't involve us, but I guess that's needed. So we did bring in the Aussie admin, huge bloke, in his stead. So we did replace him. I call it a body filler, but that's not really what it is. Well, it is what it is.
That makes it sound dirty.
We're glad to have you this episode.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Well, it was either you or the elitist, and we had him on last week as a body filler to replace the spammy. So, but I did also bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the mage that fondles his prismatic crystal, Frieza.
It's true. In the middle of bursting, I'm like, pull out the crystal. I'm like, everybody hold on.
That's what you meant.
I'm checking it out right now. Its curves are nice.
I like how you say in the middle of bursting you pulled out your crystal.
That's what I'm saying. That was on purpose. No pun intended.
That's how we do. Well, we're glad you're here. It's so difficult being friends with you guys. I
don't know what to say to that.
I got nothing.
When spam is speechless, you know shit just got real.
I got nothing.
Shit just got real. I did also bring the spam burger hamburger who can now be found in ravioli spam burger.
I told you that's not funny.
Man,
it has not gotten funnier in the last half hour, though. Should I tell them my story? I tried a new spam. It's spam chorizo flavored, and it's outstanding. I may never buy a regular tube of chorizo ever again.
I've tried the bold and spicy.
That's good stuff.
Any spam barbecue is delicious.
Try barbecue.
Spam and macaroni, spam sandwiches with tomatoes and lettuce. Oh, so not even about what we're talking about. We apologize, but if you have a chance to run down and get some spam, America, because that's what spam is all about.
America.
Literally, because we get it in one flavor here.
This is
none of those.
One flavor. That's sad.
Brought to you by America.
Aussie land is very sad. I'm sad for you.
Thank you.
Wait, you've got no spam down there?
No, we have it. Just one flavor.
Sure.
One flavor. Who knows?
I worked with a guy, to go into off subject, I worked with a guy who ate the it's cooked spam, but it's raw. He got it out of the can and ate it with his hand almost at lunch every day.
Spam is the ass, lips, and elbows of all of the animals that they don't want to throw away.
Why,
they want to save.
Thank you.
Oh, not that spam. Sorry.
And chorizo spam burger is.
So there's.
We just had this discussion.
It's the face of the cow.
To all of my Hispanic listeners, I apologize. He is Hispanic and does not apparently know how to pronounce his own cuisine. There is no D in chorizo. I know I'm saying it wrong also, but I can't really roll the R. But anyway,
she's trying to correct me.
Back to what we're all here for, which is World of Warcraft. Now that we've had our cuisine sheet.
It's a new segment we've been working on.
Right. So 6.1, lots of good stuff happened in the world, and the first thing is garrison vendors have new items that can be bought with resources. You can buy scouting missives. The cost of these, it's 200, but it's going to change. So scouting missives, rush orders, which we already knew because we talked about that last episode. Follower trait retraining guides to roll different traits on your followers. Follower ability retraining guides. This will actually the follower ability retraining guide will actually re-roll your follower abilities, not just your traits. So that's pretty cool. Lots of stuff they've been focused on with followers, so they're really starting to cultivate and keep continuing to make this garrison a thing. I'm a garrison junkie, so it's good for me. I know Frieza's still trying to figure out if he likes his garrison.
I've seen a few videos on the garrisons from a few YouTubers, and they basically say it perfectly. It's like a little mini game, within the game.
Right.
And basically, when I'm in queue for Ashran is when I do my stuff.
Right.
I run in there and I start doing all my collecting. But I think if I wasn't, it's one of those things where it's nice to have. It's nice to have to actually have something else to do. If you're bored, you can just go to your garrison for about 30 minutes.
Agreed. I could.
I think besides the excellent point that Frizy made, that it gives you something to do while you're in queue, there's a lot of players out there that haven't left the garrison yet, that they're still just like...
I AFK and hang out in there because it feels like my own home. I sit in front of the fire before I log out, so that when I log in, I'm physically sitting in front of my...
Last night, there was a lot of people hanging out in the Belisang garrison.
I feel like we should talk about that. So yesterday was my birthday, and I was really sad. It was really funny that this happened. Yesterday I was really sad because my friends and the people that I love most outside of my family are my guildmates. And these guys, obviously, but these guys are my guildmates, so it counts. So it was really sad because most people with your birthday parties, you have all your friends over, the husband throws you a surprise party, and it's all this amazingness. But I don't deal with real-life people because they're not gamers, the people that I know here in my state. They don't understand my game. They don't care about it. They just, whenever I talk about it on Facebook, their eyes glaze over. So it was really down in the dumps yesterday because I don't get to celebrate my birthday with people that I love every day because, we're on Skype and it's just not the same. So little did I know, I'm asked to get in game. I get in game. Aja pretends like she wants to duel me. She says, hey, I'm going to add you to a group, view my garrison, and come duel me.
Outstanding. Is that how they got you?
So I add, and I'm like, I don't know why you want to duel me, but okay. So I'm like preempting myself. I'm a little rusty, so don't kill me. And she's a freaking resto shaman. I don't even know why it didn't even click to me why she would want to duel as a resto shaman.
Yeah.
So I stepped right out as soon as I click to view her garrison. It doesn't hit me what happened. So there's all these people, which is typical. Once you phase out of the garrison, you see the people standing there with Blingtron talking. Some people duel outside the garrison. So I'm running, not realizing it's all of my guild. Literally like 50 of my guild members were all sitting outside waiting for me. And then they start, doing yell happy birthday Belle and like all this stuff. And I'm still running. Like I'm hauling ass because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go do my duel, and I'm going to pass them. And I was just like, it's the whole guild. And I'm like, oh, wait, you guys are my guild. What are you guys doing here?
You guys are not doing your jobs.
So then I get,
shouldn't you guys be
then
doing
Aja
that?
opens trade with me, and I'm sorry, I'm having a technical malfunction here. I've never done my hair before. I was out with my uncle earlier. Anyway, so she opens trade with me, and all these presents start just coming in waves. And I'm still in shock that my whole guild has gathered to surprise me with a surprise party. And I'm in TeamSpeak and I'm speechless and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I got 33 pets because I'm 33. So they gave me a pet for every year, but I actually got more than that because several other players gave me stuff from themselves in addition to the stuff, I guess.
It's like as she's opening pets, she's getting like free pets.
Yeah, and I got the mottled Drake. That's how it's pronounced, right? It is mottled. The mottled Drake, which apparently goes for $200 on eBay because it's a trading card mount. I have it. Just me, I have it. I'm going to put a picture right here for what it is. But I got that. That was Aja had organized the whole guild, and all of my guildmates got together, and they donated money to get these pets. And I got all these. I got the bone mount finally from the Isle of Giants. Just all these things. Then we go into my garrison and we're partying and we're like all the little pillows are around in the garrison and everybody's like, let's go to Storm Shield and do a Drake parade. So we all go to Storm Shield. We RP walk on our Drakes. We go the entire length through Storm Shield and people start coming out of buildings like in real life when a parade's happening. People are walking out of the auction house and they're stepping out of the bank and they're standing there. And people start joining in with us, and before we know it, everybody in Storm Shield, there's this whole conga line of us RP walking on our Drakes. I will put the video at the end of the show. I'll attach the video to it. But man, was it the best thing for a guild master, and really just for my friends, because I got to spend my birthday with the people that really have an impact on my daily life, and we totally strayed from the news. But huge shout out to my guild. You guys seriously are the best guild ever.
Happy birthday, Belle.
Yes, happy birthday.
I was really down in the dumps. And my husband's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, all my friends are not in Arizona and they're all away. So
I did. I caught it. It was like a tweet from you.
I did.
And I didn't see it until like midnight. And it was like a 4:30 tweet when we did this thing at like 6. She did a 4:30 tweet talking about everybody's out of state.
I was boohooing. I was totally boohooing.
And I thought it was I was like, is it wrong that it gives me glee that you were like so miserable like an hour and a half before we sprung this on you?
And of course I offended the Aussie because I said state, and obviously I meant countries because I do have friends in other countries. True. But yeah, it was really awesome, and they had been planning it for weeks. Apparently, my very own husband kept secrets from me, and it had been a huge plan.
I have no idea.
So
he's going to be punished for that.
Shout out to the writers of Rohan and Argentdon. You guys are awesome, and to those of you who were talking shit in trade chat on my server about the Drake Parade, you guys can kill yourselves. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, you guys do something cool like that, and then talk shit.
Anyway, okay, back to the news. That was awesome. Oh,
did I say that?
Told me. Just so you guys know, when you guys see my face go weird during the show, it's because they're putting stuff in Skype chat that makes me do weird faces because they're trolling me to get me to mess up. Okay, in 6.1, huge Flight Pass have a request stop button. It's basically like the vehicle action button, the vehicle exit vehicle button. Some people are getting confused. This does not automatically stop your flight path in 6.1. What it's going to do is it's going to take you to the nearest connecting flight point, and it's going to drop you off. So, yes, you can stop your flight path now, but it's only to the nearest connecting one. So if you're on a flight path that doesn't have – some flight paths don't have a connector, you're burnt.
Am I the only one who hasn't known that there's been a button that does that in the game for years? All you have to do is reach to the back of your modem and yank the wires straight out.
That is true.
It works every time.
I keep seeing everybody get really excited about this button, and I was sort of sitting there thinking, well, that's kind of nothing new, because if I screw up and get on the wrong flight path, I just hit Alt F4 and crash the game, because as soon as you load back in, it lands you at the closest path, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you've got it."
Hit the request stop button, and boom, magic happens. I think it's great. It's awesome. The eye level for followers is going to be, they're increasing the cap. The cap's going to be 670, so that's super awesome because now you can have higher item level stuff. I'm assuming that's going to go in line with being able to do high mall missions of a mythic level with a higher item level, and whatever new gear stuff that they're going to allow you to have, you probably need to have a higher
As soon as I found out that you could send your Garrison followers into High Mall, I started putting together the dream team. So I'm investigating this whole mythic Garrison mission theory.
It's all lies.
Sometime this week, hopefully.
we talked about the jukebox last episode. We did confirm that there's going to be a starter quest to build your Garrison jukebox inside your Garrison. There's going to be music for both factions, as well as faction-specific music. You'll be able to acquire these via quests that you'll be able to get. They're called roles, obviously, the jukebox. So that was confirmed. This is really odd. So selfie camera, right? Selfies are now a thing. It's obtained from a mission. When you get this selfie camera, it's not a rare mission, so it should be relatively easy for everybody to obtain. It actually opens up a little window, like a vehicle window of your Toon's face, and it even has the arm extending. It's got the arm extending out like they're taking a selfie, and you can change the different facial features and take selfies. For the haters and the naysayers, I know that people are like, wow, even in the game? Yeah. How cool is it? Some of us already think of our Toons as real people. How cool is it that we can take a Toon selfie and be like, this is me, but I'm in game. Like, maybe that's just me, and it might be because I'm a girl. I love selfies.
I don't. Both the guys are giggling. I got to hear what they got to say.
That's. I don't have nothing. It's just. You're gonna bring
that can get classier. Is if they add in like what's it called, the selfie stick, like a fishing pole or some wind on a quip. You know, your character's got a little stick. Listen, the Twitter thing I'm still adjusting to, but
this is just too much.
I know you bloke. I know you're going to be taking selfies of huge bloke because you are very much about your Toon. I'm telling you, you guys are against it now, but wait until it's a thing, and you guys are going to be like, "Whoa, this is awesome."
I will.
I say anything? I'm gonna blow up.
I will say this.
Twitter, man.
I will say this: if we do a threes and we're about 12 minutes into the threes arena, and we killed a healer, at that second, I'm going to stop and go, kill the healer. Yeah.
The only way Huge Bloke is going to be doing the whole selfie thing is making use of like inappropriate selfies, like the whole pants off Friday thing.
And guys, for those of you, I've seen a lot of people that are very angry about this because they're making something about it being a trendy game. Here's the thing: they're just adding stuff for people to make it fun for some people. If you don't like it, don't use it. I mean, really.
Everyone's going to use it. Every single person.
Talking crap are going to use it because it's fun, it's fresh, it's something new. You don't always have to be grinding hardcore PvP and hardcore raids. Sometimes you could just do fun. Duck lips. Yes, duck lips. I'm just kidding. I don't have good duck.
I honestly can't wait to see what Huge Bloke looks like standing in his garrison with the whole thing going.
I think I caught that.
Oh, no.
He snorted. So... It's pretty exciting.
I can just see there's the little things that people think that are stupid and no one's going to use, but I can already see the super casual player is going to be walking next to you and then pop his jukebox down right in front of you and start playing music. You know what I mean? And he's like, dude, how'd you get that? You don't even play. He's like, I somehow obtained it.
It'd be really great if they let you take not selfies, but groupies, which is what my daughter calls them. My 13-year-old or my 16-year-old calls them groupies. When it's more than one person, it's a group.
They're called photo bombs.
She's a different generation, so to me, groupie means something totally different.
Yeah.
She calls them groupies, but wouldn't it be cool if, like, we were standing next to each other, we could take a group, like? No, that's nothing.
I'm thankful it's not the other one, and I saw an advertisement for it the other day. The Belfie stick or whatever it is, it's the one they're trying to get Kim Kardashian to plug. So you hold it over your back and basically take a photo of your
the camera. I can't even stand. I'm so nobody cares that you're trying to break.
Stick it in your ass.
I'm gonna rant. Okay, look.
That's where I'll draw the line. I can handle the selfies and the Twitter and that in game, but when you start getting things like
heirlooms, neck BOAs are a thing. It's going to allow you to cast a heal once per minute. Great, awesome, especially when you're leveling.
So there is
Be aware that it shares the cooldown with your potions and hellstones if you're a warlock or if you utilize a warlock's hellstone. Also, collecting all of the heirlooms, BOAs. Don't really know, don't care.
Browns.
Whatever.
Brownies.
Yeah.
Call them
what did you call them? Brownies.
Brownies.
Brown is a turd to me. I can't jump on that train. I'm sorry.
Well, they're actually kind of
BOAs is what I'm going to call them.
That's racist.
Go ahead. If you collect all of these, you get a special mount that you can use at level 1. What do we think about that?
Oh, there's reason to collect them. I'm an alcoholic, so I mean, they've had plenty of items in the game that are like potions that you could reuse forever.
But what do you feel about people being able to get the collection and use a mount at level 1? Because I have a strong opinion. I want to see if anybody else shares my opinion.
Wait, repeat that? What was that again?
By collecting all the sets, an heirloom set, it awards a special mount that is usable at level 1.
Okay. There's two sides to this sword. First of all, anybody riding on a mount at level 1, I got 2 words for. Level 40.
Yep. I was there. I remember.
And on the other side of the sword, it's an heirloom thing for getting 6 heirlooms. So if you're getting this for your level 1 tune, it's going to be for like your.
And that means you've already leveled a tune. So you're not a noob because you've already leveled a tune. But I got to tell you.
So, like I said, double-sided sword.
As much as excited as I am because that's good for me, I have to be honest, and it's a rite of passage, dude, to get your mount. And how many of us level, and even in the guild, and they're like, oh my god, I'm almost there. I can't wait to mount. This walking sucks. That is a rite of passage.
What level is it now? Level 20 to get him out?
Can I say something? So this makes a good point here. Spamberger and people who remember back in the days, it was level 40 where you couldn't get your mount. We still play. We love this game when we had to wait till level 40. And then now it's level 20. They're still going to play no matter what. Why do they feel the need to keep making it better and easier for the newest players when the old way wasn't bad
they're
either?
Contributing a little bit to the complainers that bitch about it. I'm going to be really honest. And if those of you that are listening are one of the people that bitch about it or are really excited, this isn't an insult. This is just the way that is how we feel.
Right.
I agree with you.
But they're not RPG people or MMOs. They're guys who didn't play Knights of the Old Republic. They're guys that didn't play the
they
Zelda
want everything
game.
Right now, nobody wants to work for anything. Where you were 15, you were level 15, and you're like, okay, I'm there.
The people who are going to complain are Halo, Call of Duty people who come in here and don't want to walk around anywhere.
People. If you're looking for instant gratification, there's a porn magazine store
Don't
down the road,
play
and there's a Halo game on the other side. If that's what you're looking for instant gratification, you are in the wrong business. It's such fun to have to walk everywhere, and you hate it, but it's the feeling of
no, it's not.
It's the feeling of, damn it, I wish I could mount up.
I've been saying a lot lately. Like, the game really has entered what I've been terming the entitlement era.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, nobody's prepared to work for stuff anymore. Mm-hmm. They, if they don't get a clean
People
run.
People are arguing that because they already have a level 100, they don't want to do it on their alts. That's their argument, and that's a valid argument. However, why not? What are you doing that's better?
If you're so desperate to get another alt up to speed, pay $66 and get it done.
Correct.
Like that's point in argument. If to start a new character, fair enough. I can go with BOAs to help you speed it up a little bit. But honestly, if you can't get to level 20 inside of an hour, and drop 20 gold and get a mount, like I don't.
I love being level 5 and having to run because you pulled too much and you just have to take off.
By the time you do get your mount, you appreciate the shit out of it.
And
even though it's a crap speed mount, you still love it to bits.
Yeah, 60%, and you're like, oh yeah, this is
amazing.
Take everything with a grain of salt, and here's the thing, and this is what we say: if you don't like it, don't use it. If you dislike it for yourself, I personally do not plan on being one of those people that uses it because for me it takes the fun out. If you want to use it. You're all good. Let's not insult the people that do or do not. We can disagree and agree. I see it too much in the Facebook groups these days, guys. Man.
I would probably use it. I would only because I cannot level a toon. That's why I only have one character for the last 4 years. And so if I was to ever level another character again, I would make it the easiest, most possible way of doing it.
I would not. No.
You know what? I mean, you know what you people used to do when they didn't want to die and they didn't have a mount yet? They would walk on the road.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It tells you on the tips, walk on roads is the less chance of
that's where all the
running into animals.
Hang out in the frickin' battlegrounds anyway on the damn road, so what's the frickin' difference in PvE? So take it with a grain of salt. For those of you that are interested in utilizing it, you just have to collect the whole set of your heirlooms, and it is usable at level 1. Don't know any more than that outside of any restrictions or anything, but as we have more information, I'll make sure that you guys are aware. The pet menagerie for the garrisons. Once again, this is all 6.1 talk. There's a new tamer that's going to be in the garrison, Eris the Collector and Cora Thunderhoof. They are going to offer the quest Critters of Draenor, which is going to reward several flawless battle training stones and travelers' pet supplies. I'm not a pet.
This makes me
I'm not a pet person
because I don't have a
but they're also bringing more new pets for you to fight in your menagerie. They come with 6 abilities instead of the usual 3 for the trainer's pets. A lot of pet changes. I'm not a Pokemon. That's Lycans.
I think I'm planning on 2016 doing nothing but pet battles.
I mean, I tried really hard, and after the 3rd battle, and my pet's level 9, I'm like, what am I doing here? What?
Yeah.
So, for those of you that love it,
I had the
that's
same
great.
issue.
I'm glad that you guys have that. For me, it's just not something I'm into.
I found it super addictive. I stopped after all my pets got level 22, and I said, I'm out. I can't do this because I ended up. I didn't like the whole pet thing.
Where you'll obsess on one thing until it's perfect. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I backed out of it. Just like Hearthstone and all those other games. You guys play those. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
For me, personally, I've been a gamer for longer than most of the people listening have probably even been alive. Once you've done Tamagotchi a few thousand times, it gets old. I had a game once upon a time on the Dreamcast called Seaman, which was a fish in your TV that actually talks back to you. And I had a long-standing relationship with the Seaman. And it got to the point where my wife was in the room, and he said, "Hey, is your wife in the room?" And I went, yeah. And she went, oh, and he said, oh, I'll tell you later. And that was the end of Seaman. Because my wife found out that Seaman was keeping secrets from me.
I had a digipet, you know, the little digipets?
Digipets, the same
You had to
thing.
feed them and they would poop and you would have to clean them.
Or
I
they
did
die.
a digipet when I was like 15.
I just want to point out, hunters, you know, if you go back a little ways, when you actually had to feed your pets, and if they died, they got cranky with you, and you had to give them special food.
Yeah.
These are the things that are gone now, and they've replaced it with Chimpoki battles, or whatever they call it.
I remember when I was a little kid, and my grandma gave me one of those little pet things. It was on a keychain, probably that big.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that's really stupid, guys. Is here I am. I'm supposed to be this macho little kid, you know. I want to be a big boy. And she gave this to me, and I thought, this is the stupidest thing I've ever had in my life. This is a horrible gift. No sooner than like 6 months later, I'm sitting there in class, thing, making sure he stayed alive, making sure the egg didn't pop or whatever. And I thought something like that, so tiny, ended up, I was one of the gifts. That's how you know you're a gamer. That's how you know.
Right.
I thought it was because I was motherly, because I had the need to be motherly with something and to watch it grow. But apparently it was a gaming thing even early on.
Yeah.
The pet battles, it goes back to what you were just saying a few seconds ago. Like, for me personally, I don't. Like, my little bloke, he comes in and he plays my pet battles.
When you say little bloke, we're talking about the child. Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
So we're clear.
Not little bloke.
Just so we're clear on what little bloke means, because some of us might have assumed it was something else.
Huge bloke? Little bloke. He comes in, does the pet battles. For me personally, but going back to what you said a second ago, it's not for me, but I don't sit and hang shit on the people that do. If you enjoy it, like, embrace it and love it and get right into it. They're adding stuff in
to the
for
point
you.
Where he will ignore everybody for 2 days while he's pet battling, and I'm like, hey, knock your shit off with your pet battles. This is unhealthy.
Well, at least
he's off in
doing
Nagran doing some weird, or whenever he's in Pandaland, I know he's doing pet battles, but it's good for people, and they are putting a lot into the menagerie, and they are adding a lot of they're bringing new pets, more abilities. I
think that's the general trend with this expansion anyway. Like, I'm really starting to see, like, they're adding in, you know, the music and the pet battles and the selfies and all that sort of stuff. Like, they really are still starting to expand into those different little things that overall really make the game appeal to a whole bunch of people.
That's why they're taking bits and pieces for what everybody loves from different games. One ring to rule them all is what they're doing. That's smart business.
And they've always been good at doing that.
Right. Well, they have no really competition out there. I mean, they're
the
all by
MOBAs,
themselves.
and me and my brother got into an argument the other day because he was trying to tell me League of Legends was bigger than World of Warcraft. And listen, when you insult World of Warcraft to me, it's like we're going toe-to-toe, you and I. So I instantly, my shoulders like puff up and my face turns red, and I instantly get angry. And I'm like, whoa, man. Like, and he's like, more people play League of Legends. And I'm like, listen, please don't get punched, because that's what's about to happen. You take it back. You shut your filthy little mouth. And so I did full statistics to prove my point. They did.
Did you? Good.
So, and MOBAs are not my thing either. They did a great job with Heroes of the Storm. Blizzard did a beautiful job. It is beautiful. I've had technical alpha since it was first released. It's gorgeous. But those are just not my. It's not my get down. I like WoW. I like free roam maps, and when I played League of Legends with my brother, he yelled at me all the time. That was not fun. If I want to get yelled at, I'm going to do arenas with Frieza. Like, that's just that's really how that boils itself down to. So that's the big important stuff that happened. There are lots of additions to 6.1 that are making things easier. We do post those on the page. You can follow Wowhead. Wowhead has that stuff. That's pretty much the breakdown of what's happening. And for those of you that aren't playing actively, I know that we have a lot of listeners and viewers that are not actively playing Warlords for whatever their reasons are. Don't let people detour you. Don't let what people are saying on Facebook sway how you feel. It's one of those things where you have to check it out for yourself. And for the Facebook people, stop insulting each other on Facebook pages because one has an opinion. The beautiful thing about the world is we're all going to think differently. What's good for Frieza isn't good for me. What's good for me isn't good for Spam. That's the beautiful thing about a game like this, is you get to decide. Unless you're paying my subscription, don't worry about what I'm doing in-game or how I'm doing it. because we're all different, and that's what's great about WoW is it's so eclectic that we can be different. You can have a different opinion without acting like an asshat and insulting people. I mean, really.
Well, there was this. That's a good thing you bring that up. It was I watch a lot of Twitch, and I was watching this guy. It was about 4 a.m, and here I am all day long. I mean, I consider it, maybe you can put it like in New York City in the daytime sometimes, because you spend so much time in arena and then you raid and you're dying nonstop. You're yelling at your friends are yelling back at you. You know, you got this team speak of all these people. It's just all this chaos is happening for like 5 to 6 hours. So anyways, I watched this guy on Twitch, and he's a level 20 hunter, and he has like 5 viewers, and I was like, I'm going to watch this guy for a bit. He doesn't even have any of the expansions. He is just leveling his hunter. He's level 20 in the Barrens, and I watched him, and he was having a great time. He was like, yeah, so I'm here today, and I'm doing my hunter, first time being a hunter today, and he's having a great time, and I thought, how come I can't be that relaxed in this game? How come I can't
screaming
just
at
have
people on
fun
Skype
anymore?
because they're not able to CC because they're stunned. That's why.
And that's what I'm trying to. And that's what I'm trying to say. I think instead of nagging on these low level casuals or people who are not geared, I think sometimes we have to envy the days that we were like
right?
that. We were like, man, I remember those days.
Doing your thing and it not being serious.
The bliss of not having a mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, I watched him play, and it was awesome.
That's again part of what I was saying before. Like the amount of people that are just being brutal over the most ridiculous stuff. Like you know, oh, can I get some help with my DPS or whatever else? Oh, you've got to learn how to play. Oh, you got to quit the game. Or, yeah, go. You know, all that. It's got to stop. Like this entitlement era really has to stop, because it's turning more and more people away from the game, and all it's going to end up is you're going to be left with a core group of essentially.
And let me tell you why that's important.
And
what
the people
you just said.
that just don't interact with anyone else.
When people go into a Facebook group or a Facebook page and they ask for help, and you have all your elitists who have all the answers. Why the fuck aren't you famous? Why are you on a Facebook page then? Are you a famous streamer? Are you somebody important in the World of Warcraft community that people should listen to your advice and how awesome you are? Because if you were really as awesome as you think you are, you would be Swifty, or you would be Snuts, or you would be Soda Pop, or you would be Hottie. Seriously, unless you are one of the people I just listed, you're nobody just like we are. We are nobody, you are nobody, but we are people. That's it. You're no better than anybody else, and you're right about that. When people get on there with their elitist attitude, I always want to say, well, I'm sorry, did you get paid to play World of Warcraft today? Because I don't know, I didn't see your paycheck, so I'm not, are you somebody special that is so, and these pros play and they get paid to play because they're good. That they're on a different level. That's the reason. Whatever my issues are with paid players, I have problems with them, everybody knows. But you have to respect what they do because they are so good that the World of Warcraft community, the higher up people have acknowledged them. Chris Metzen has acknowledged them. Holinka has acknowledged them.
When they put you in the game, or NPCs, you're somebody. Well, that's the thing is what was I going to say? I was going to say something. But like, for example, like management, you know, you say, well, I can respect the position that the manager's in, but I hate my manager. Well, it goes the same way sometimes, but if you respect the player, like, for example, I hate Resto Chavez. I can't stand them. I don't think they're any good. But if I saw Sea-Doo walk in front of me, and I would bow down to Sea-Doo, I would be like, dude, you are amazing. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, he's
exactly, and I respect that.
I agree.
Because this is what I do a lot of the time of the week, and
this ain't a hobby.
When I find like
the four of us here, this isn't a hobby. This is a lifestyle. This is not something we do in our spare time. We don't have spare time. We schedule and make sure that our days are cut out to be able to WoW. So
mine's the other way around. My hobby is when I turn the computer off and go see that thing I hear so much about called Sunshine.
You have a hot wife.
Tried that a couple of times.
If I had a hot wife like you, I wouldn't be in game all the time either. Let me just shout out to Glork's wife. Her name is Leah, and she is gorgeous. And how he managed to get her to marry him is one has to kind of pray to the old gods and find out what fuckery was occurring that he actually got her to marry him.
You have no idea how much bacon I sacrificed to pull that off.
He has the whole package. She is hot. She is smart. She is talented. She has a great kick-ass sense of humor, and she makes beautiful children. Like, sorry, we went off WoW topic, but I just had to shout that out. I want to steal these two guys' wives, but apparently
thank you for that. You're going to make me go all red. But just like you were saying about the top end there, you know, like Bashir and Swifty and all those guys, if all these people on the Facebook pages want to be those guys, follow their example.
Yeah.
Like, I have watched their streams. I have watched their YouTube videos time and time and time again. And the one thing that I see them not doing is hanging shit on other players because they're not as elite and awesome and perfect and high DPS and whatever else.
They're nice.
They sit back. Yeah, they're nice, and they're genuinely nice about it. They offer up tips and info and help and try and build the community up, as opposed to sitting back saying, "Oh, you're shit. I'm not going to tell you. You have to go figure it out. Go bother someone else."
Right.
Like,
everything's open. Their
this one
computers
really
are
sort
open
of
for
gets
all
to me.
to see during their stream. There's no secret squirrely stuff going on. They're giving you the best of what they have. I might have issues with streamers, and I don't have issues with them. I personally don't. I don't like to watch streamers because it's not fun for me. Watching somebody else play a game isn't fun for me. I do like YouTube videos when I need to learn about my warlock and PvP, when my arena leader is yelling at me, or when we need to learn boss fights. But personally, I don't like sitting down and watching streams because it bores me. I don't want to watch somebody else play the game. I want to play the game. That's the way that I go. But
I like watching Bajura because that guy is very entertaining.
Streamers,
him and his wife.
Yes.
Man. He is. The whole thing is funny because he's nice. He's happy the whole time he's playing. He's not being a dick.
Girlfriend.
You know, he's not. Oh,
Is his wife. He better
is that his wife? His girlfriend?
So.
His latest video was him and his wife, and they're in an arena together.
Married dudes' wives.
I don't know why.
But yeah, I mean, it's true. A huge bloke says though. It is true.
Would you prefer him say he's scoping out Bashir himself?
Because I'm married, so saying the male is inappropriate in a marriage situation, and I would not want my husband. I would.
I'll throw it out there. I would.
But also because these women that you guys are married to, they love me and they don't care that I'm a female. And it is a problem sometimes in the gaming world when I have male friends, their wives don't appreciate because they don't understand what gamers have, that I'm not, what's the term, broho? They don't understand that. So because both of your wives, Mrs. Spam and Mrs. Bloke, they love me and they don't care because they know I'm married, and that's why I love them. So yes, I do have a mini crush on both the wives, and would love to steal them because they get me. They don't care that I'm a girl. They don't. It doesn't bother them that I Skype with their husbands. So.
Exactly.
Someone else gets to yell at their husbands.
That's what it is. They don't get it off. The guys don't get it off easy here. I have to.
Yeah, we all get yelled at. Trust us.
So that was pretty much the whole news. I'm glad we touched on the community. The community has taken a shit. It's even trade chat. Ninja Kitten on Argent Dawn. Go home. Go get an education. Finish high school. Go get married. Go have children.
She's not gonna watch. She's not gonna watch this. She is in trade chat.
You trade chat with your bullshit that nobody cares about. Literally, go get an education. Come and get a degree. Come to me with your degree, and then we can be friends. Seriously, the trade chat is ridiculous.
I got a couple.
I got to point out, regardless of what server you're on.
Are you going to talk about anal? Because that's always in trade chat.
No, just for once I'm not. Not in trade chat, anyway. For the 10 years I've been playing this game, trade chat has always been that one place that just half the time I'm amazed and like it's amusing as all hell, and the other half of the time it's just like, seriously, this is what this game has become. Like, it's just horrible. It's a horrible place. But every now and then you do get that little gem.
The amount of times that people reference anal in trade chat is amazing to me. Like, in a 20-minute Garrison session, it will have been talked about 30 times. Seriously, it's not that interesting, people. I'm just throwing that out there. Like,
and that's on a quiet night. Night.
You talk about how long trade chat has been like in the shitter, and I agree it's getting worse and worse, but you have no idea. You see, you've been on Argent Dawn a long time, but not long enough to remember BlackRock down. Every time the BlackRock server would go down, everyone from BlackRock server would show up on Argent Dawn, and they were all level 1 gnomes, and they had like pink hair and like green underpants, and they would do like this parade through the middle of freaking Ironforge. And if you don't believe me, go Google BlackRock down, baby, because that's Argent Dawn in a nutshell.
What is that? It's the closest server on the list, so they just picked one and was like, let me go here. How funny.
Yeah.
Well, no, because originally the servers used to all go down in segments, so there'd be like, say a bank of 10 servers would go down, but you'd still have 10 servers that were up.
Right.
So everybody
because
that was on those closed down ones?
Alphabetically, A would go down before B. So if BlackRock server went down, Argent Dawn came back up. So they would come right the fuck over.
Makes sense.
That's where a lot of people got the whole alts on different servers started, because you went and played on a different server while yours was shut down.
I need to address an inbox that was sent to me. Excuse me. I did get an inbox, and the inbox is from Scott Norris, and he sent the inbox on the 19th. And he says, first, I really enjoy your podcast. Thanks for all the entertainment and information. Second, I currently play on Emerald Dream. Shout out to Emerald Dream server. And your podcast is really making me want to level a tune with Riders of Rohan. That's not really what's important. Anyway, let me get listener question. Here it is. I think it would be interesting to talk about Iron Horde scraps and possible alternatives. Right now, we only have a few transmog options and occasional follower upgrades. I was thinking making the following items purchasable: follower upgrades, follower trait, reroll tokens, limited and rare chance to purchase legacy tier and Xmogs items. I think that's a great idea. Now, keep in mind, I had went to research for you. As I was researching, literally, guess what's going to be a thing? All of your iron scraps, your Iron Horde scraps come 6.1. You're going to be able to take them to the war mill, and you're going to be able to melt them down and do. It's actually
stuff.
It will allow you to do a scrap meltdown, turning scraps into weapon enhancements. So your tokens to enhance your weapon and your armor enhancement tokens. So that's pretty cool. But also, somebody brought this to my attention when I was talking about this in the guild to get ideas for you, Scott, specifically. You realize that you can purchase all of the MOG for every tune you have. So if you have 7 tunes, you can purchase all of them because they're BOEs. You can buy them or BOAs. You can buy them and send them to a tune. I know people get confused because it's automatically filtered for the tune that you're on. But if you click it and you see all, you're going to see everybody's MOG options for all the classes.
But do I really want my alternate to look like a Stormwind soldier?
But mine is not a Stormwind soldier.
That's the only transmog.
No, it's not.
If you
upgrade it, you get different options.
No, it's good.
So if let's say you're playing on Warlock, because that's what I am. I bought the whole Warlock set. If you unfilter that from your specific tune, you go to view all, you can buy the leather, the plate, the mail, the whole set for your other tunes. So if you want to MOG out your other tunes with the different options for the level 3 Dwarven Bunker, then do that. That's what you can do in the meantime while you're banking your scraps up to use them. So there's going to be a thing that you can use them for.
I'm just going to hoard them.
Right, and they've lifted the cap on that. It used to be only 2. You can only have 200. They have lifted the cap on that. So save those for that meltdown because you'll be able to get the enhancement tokens for the weapons and for the armor for your followers. And because they're increasing the item level to the followers to 670, that's money in the bank if you don't have a salvage yard. I took my salvage yard out of business because it was annoying. And everybody was all like, I get 665 gear, and I'm like, I keep getting level 12 gear, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. So thank you for your question. I'm hoping to see them develop more use for the Iron Horde scraps besides the meltdown and the MOG gear. I do get what you're saying, Scott, specifically about being able to buy other things with it besides that. So hopefully I think we should take that to the forums as a suggestion for PTR and see if they can.
Well, what about like all that epic orange stuff that you can't actually use as a transmog? Maybe you can earn those.
Wouldn't that be amazing if you could buy old school legendaries and actually be able to transmog them? Are they ever going to make that a thing?
I don't think you should be able to buy them.
Say Thunder Fury?
They should make that a thing.
You should be able to transmog them. You shouldn't be able to buy them. The legendaries you should still have to go and earn, but you should be able to wear them. Like I got a ton of them, and they're sitting in the bank because I can't do sweet.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
That's a whole different show, right?
So,
it's a whole other show.
Frieza has pwned in PvP, and I know he has a small mini section, and there was a listener question that we answered it via the inbox on the Pwnecast page, but I knew that Frieza would have another unique insight.
What was the question? thought you were gonna read it off to me. That was on
our
last
He's a
Skype
rogue.
call.
Wondering the best 2s and 3s combination. His name is. What's his name is Steven. And it's not my Steven. It's a different with a VN, not with a PH. Steven.
Not Steven.
It's not Steven.
All right, I remember now. He was asking whether or not which team he should group up with as a rogue.
For 2s
and my suggestion is, and 3s. 3s, that's different. I can't really give a good answer to 3s. But 2s, he's going to have to – there's the Steven. He's going to have to go with the Feral. If it's him, he's a rogue, he's going to have to go with the Feral, and they're going to go undefeated for a while. You're going to be the easiest games for you are going to be the games that have a healer in 2s. And because basically you and a Feral, you guys are so anti-heals. You guys have so much CCs that healer's never going to get a heal off to heal anybody. You guys can both go invisible. The Druid can off-heal you. You know, it's just a beautiful team. If you want to be an annoying team without the power and still win, you're going to have to be a Disc Priest and a Rogue. Because they're not going to be able to burst on you while the Disc Priest bubbles you. And when they finally break your shield, you can just go invisible. And so you can be really annoying and win and take 12 minutes a game, 10 minutes every game to win. But that's if you want to do that, get with the Disc Priest, someone like that who can bubble you, and you will win a lot. 3s, I don't know. That's just going to be
I've seen a lot of
that's something different.
Rogue mage combinations in 3s with like another melee, possibly a warrior.
With a healer.
It's usually back in Mr. Pandaria. I'm pretty sure it's been going on for a while. But back when there was teams, there was a lot of mages and rogues that were running together, and that's totally possible. But you will run into a few issues when you play against other druids. But it is possible because your burst is so extreme. But yeah, that's definitely a possibility if you have a good mage friend. But I would still suggest over that you have to go with the Feral.
I will kill you because my job, according to my arena leader, is when that rogue shows his face, I get on that rogue. So if me and you go toe-to-toe in a 3v3 situation and you see Bella saying, I apologize in advance because this is the way I've been trained to kill by my arena leader. I'm always on the rogue. The rogue and the hunter is my main 100% job is the rogue and the hunter.
He shows his face.
Absolutely.
So that's my suggestion. 3s, you're just gonna have to. I can't give.
Wing it.
I find rogues in everything in 3s. I never actually see a consistency.
In general, because they're so versatile, and God, are they amazing. Rogues are great. So no matter who you're rolling with, dude, you're good.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine.
Yes, he asked what class should I roll with. I was like, I don't know, pretty much anyone.
Pretty much anybody. Anybody who can heal you though would be on top of it.
Oh.
No, 2 rogues.
They can't lose because if one of them dies, they just disappear and wait.
Yeah, unless they both go invisible, then it's going to be.
And they still win because.
For those of you who we've had a lot of questions this week. Actually, I did answer some of them via the inbox, but feel free to continue sending in the questions to Friza via the inbox if you want it specifically for Friza to answer and not a member of the page. Just put attention to Friza. Same thing with me or spam anybody that you want one of us to specifically answer, and Bloke. But if it's something you want us to specifically answer on the show that you know that we know about, then you just have to put it attention to. And you guys have been emailing me. For those of you that have been emailing, man, you guys make us feel so good. I got like 6 emails last week, and everybody just had lots of good stuff to say, and that really makes.
And if I get one more question about Vegemite,
only question for you.
Vegemite and kangaroos. People keep sending me emails about that.
Oh man!
I will say you shouldn't eat kangaroos. You want me to tell you why? Because people put kangaroos in diapers, and you shouldn't eat anything that's in a diaper.
It helps
That's true.
I'll eat anything in a diaper. It's alright.
I did forget to mention in the last episode, but I told myself to remember in this episode that I have a new competition coming up for our Facebook and for our listeners. But basically how it's going to work, and I think it's pretty basic. I can't really think I should probably wrote this down a little better. But what I want to do is the first person that sees me in an arena screenshot it with me in the arena fighting against you.
I'm going to win this contest.
And you will get a reward for that, and I promise you.
Count if I'm on the same team as
No, now here's the thing. No Argent Dawn people. I mean, no Riders of Rohan. No guildies. No friends. Nobody that I know will be eligible for it, and I will find out who's taking the picture because you have to give me your BattleTech account and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to. Well, not your battle.
So what you want them to do is, if they're in an arena and they see Frieza, because there's only one Frieza, guys. You'll never come across another Frieza. Right. He's the only one. We know this. He's a mage. So what he wants you to do is you screenshot if you see him as your opposing team in an arena. Screenshot it. Go to facebook.com/Pwnecast. And send it to our inbox and be the first person to post it. And I know what the prize is, and it's pretty awesome. So
there's prizes involved.
There's going to be definitely a prize involved in that. So
I wish I was
be the first one to post it on our Facebook. That's the one who's going to win it.
This is a listener and viewer only contest. So
I like this.
So.
Okay, see, rules are changing.
So, if you see Frieza in a battleground,
you'll never see Frieza in a battleground. He's too casual. He's not a casual.
Your ass.
Yeah.
Not a battleground. In an arena.
But
don't worry about the fact that he's stabbing you in the face. Just screenshot his ass.
The screenshot's all you got to do is screenshot it.
Does it have to be a selfie, or can it be a normal screenshot?
If that was out yet, it would have to be a selfie.
Pwned in PvP contest. I love that contest. How exciting! So if you're listening and watching.
And there's a chance. There's a big chance if you do enough arenas because I usually play for about 6 to 8 hours straight of arenas on the weekends and stuff like that. During the nights, I'm not going to give out the time I get on during the nights.
I will cheat and tell you that the middle of the day he doesn't play because he works. So it's going to be we late. So if you're going to – I'm going to cheat because I want to see somebody actually do this because that's going to be pretty awesome. And a shout-out to a few people who caught me in-game in Ashran. A few people had whispered me this week and said, "Are you Belle from Pwnecast?" And I'm like, are you trolling me right now? Because I don't appreciate you messing with my emotions. Shout-out to you guys. 2 of you were from Emerald Dream, and 1 of you was from Dracon? Is that a thing? Dracon? No. It's Drax something. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for letting me know that the show is great. We appreciate that. So we missed Lycan this week, just like we missed Spam last week. We had a lot of stuff that we threw at you guys today, and we're really, really excited for all the 6.1 changes. As stuff's happening and stuff is changing, try to take it a little bit lighter, and not everything is so serious. It's just a game, guys. And when I say that, I mean it's not really, because WoW is life. But try to trust Blizzard to work it out. A lot of times, and I've said this to you guys so many times, they will put stuff out there that is going to piss people off just to get that reaction, to find out if it's something that they want to do going into the next quarter. So take it to the forums. Facebook groups is not where it's at, people. Take it to the forums. They don't listen to you in Facebook groups. Blizzard doesn't give a shit that you rant on a Facebook group. They care that you are putting it on forums. So lots of good stuff in the works. We had a really, really great episode. Spamburger now has his meatball section, so I know that it's a good section.
I'll do it fast.
No, you don't have to do it fast.
I'll do it fast.
On time.
I'll do it as fast as I can. We're good? All right, good. So I waited a while on this one, but I'm bringing you tonight our deepest, darkest fear, a guy called Brackenspore.
Is it German? Is that what it is?
And the reason that it takes so long is I've cursed him out in every language known to man. I've come to find that I'm not the only one. I went on the internet and found that Brackenspore has broken guilds. So don't take it personally. This fight is not personal. It's just mushrooms and fungus, and they just keep growing. So the worst thing about this fight, I think we all agree, is that creeping moss. It's pretty much the timer for the fight. And if the creeping moss gets crazy, when the creeping moss touches Brackenspore's feet, it heals him. So pretty much once the moss grows to the point where it's touching his feet, the fight's over because he's got 100% hit points and he's going to start destroying you. So you're just literally walking across the room kicking people.
Nice.
So 26 wipes before we finally got this bastard down. But I gotta give it to the writers once again. They stuck with it so that I could finally write this lovely section for you guys. The secret to taking out the creeping moss is the Black Fuse Company 9000, the flamethrower extraordinaire. And as you walk into the room for the encounter, the orcs that are there drop their flamethrowers and boogie out the back door. And they're like, it's not working. Leave them, and they abandon their whole thing. And then your team takes a crack at it. So you're actually getting like the leftover flamethrowers from like the NPCs that ran out of the room.
You're getting the Walmart version.
It's the Walmart. Yeah, these are Black Fuse Company flamethrowers. So the secret is they ain't that swanky. You got to kind of finesse them. So there's a how you say itchy trigger finger. If you're squeezing that trigger on those flamethrowers, it's going to overheat, and then you're not going to be able to keep up with this creeping moss. So you gotta like.
What are you doing right now? Because that doesn't seem like a flamethrower to me.
I don't know. I've never used a flamethrower. I don't know. Does that like a squeeze trigger or something?
You just took it too X-rated, bruh. Like, I'm just saying, what you're doing.
I figure it's a trigger on like a gun. I don't
feel like we need some music going in the background here and some dim lights and
get some saxophone going. So the tanks in this fight are going to need to swap because he has a rot debuff, and it gets kind of ugly. So the tanks are going to be swapping, and like any dragon fight from vanilla, you want to turn the boss away from the raid because he's going to spit this like really nasty necrotic breath, and you want to pretty much have your tank, maybe one tank, not both tanks standing in it. Definitely not on the raid. Your healers need to be aware. This is kind of a situational awareness fight because there are like good mushrooms that pop up during the fight. There's a green one that heals the people who are hugging the mushroom, and there's a blue one that gives like a heroism to anybody who's hugging the mushroom. So if you stand on this blue mushroom, you're gonna get like a huge buff for your haste and for your damage because you're going to be banging out spells. But the good mushrooms are always taking damage whenever the fight is out. So that's why the healers have to be situationally aware of where these good mushrooms are. And then there's the bad mushrooms, which Belle is constantly yelling at people about the the spore shooters and the mind fungus.
Because if a caster tries to attack the mind fungus and they're within range of it, it's going to severely slow down their cast time so much. It's horrible. So melee, as soon as that mind fungus and your raid lead calls out, you better hightail your ass and get over there and get what you need to do done with that mind fungus because it will wipe the raid if casters can't cast.
Spore shooters are like the opposite
what needs to
problem.
happen, and he's only having me tell you because I'm ranged and I deal with spore shooters. With your spore shooters, all of your ranged needs to immediately be on top of those spore shooters. They need to jump in between the spore shooter and the raid. If you get too close to the spore shooter, his spore is going to shoot around you and hit the raid for raid damage. So you need to position yourself about halfway in between. You'll take the hit for the spore shooter. Your healer, because they already know ranged is on top of it, they'll watch your health bar if they're good healers and make sure. But the hits are like bites. They're mini. And you get those down, ranged needs to do it.
If the DPS are on the spore shooters, like quick, as soon as they come up, they don't get a lot of shots off. The other big defense for those spore shooter splashes is to stack and hug those green mushrooms that heal.
Infesting spores is what you're talking about, hugging the mushroom. When infesting spores pops, everybody needs to be hugging the green mushroom to eliminate the raid damage.
It's a good place to stand. If it's not infesting mushroom time and there's a green mushroom or a blue mushroom next to you, you might want to hug it. It might be a good beneficial thing for you and your raid team. And yeah, DPS, the melee needs to be on those mind fungus and the range needs to be on those spore shooters. What else? Keep that damn creeping moss off the boss.
He has a soft enrage, and that's why the moss will double. So it's entirely a mechanic fight, but it's entirely a DPS race as well. Because if you don't have him down enough when that moss starts doubling, you're screwed. You might as well wipe it because it's not going to happen. The boss is going to heal, and everything is for naught. So he's right. And people on the flamethrowers, you had something about who's good about that, right?
Oh, we were discussing this earlier, and I've heard in the groups and the pub groups that a hunter should always take it, or a rogue should always take it. I'm assuming that this is because they're quick on their feet. But we were discussing that it might be beneficial not to take it as an insult, but maybe the guys who are making very low DPS should be the ones that are doing the flamethrower action, because it is distracting. You can kind of spend a lot of time sweeping rather than shooting.
We do the two lowest, not saying they're crappy. There's always going to be people at the bottom end of the poll, because that's just the way that it is. Not stripper poll, but like DPS poll, just so we're clear on that. So what we do is we take the two people that are the lowest DPS, and they need to be the faster classes, the ones that have speed buffs. So druids and cat form are really optimal for this. Rogues are really optimal for this. And the reason you want to do that is after you've shot your flamethrower the first time, you get a damage increase. I don't really know what the number is on that increase, but you do get a damage increase. So you can attack the boss while you're waiting for Moss to happen. And you guys need to have really good communication, the flamethrower people. If you're both flamethrowing and it's not necessary, you're both wasting. Tap and go, tap and go. So you need to tap and then untap to make sure that you don't run out all your energy on your fuel. But yes, you want the classes that have a speed buff to be the ones that are on the Moss, so that when somebody calls out Moss is on the left hand side, they can run and do their thing. But yes, the lower DPS.
Gosh, I can't even imagine doing that fight without a vent or a TeamSpeak or something. I can't even imagine. Is it possible without a?
After hearing all that, I am so happy right now that I'm like Captain LFR.
But nothing is more satisfying than when you have that one nemesis in your raid that is the hard boss. We haven't even gotten to Imperator yet. That's happening tomorrow. Whew, huzzah, because that's going to be rough.
Tomorrow night. I can't wait.
Good meatball, Spammy. That's good stuff on Brackenspall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
it's
been like 3 weeks in
He's like,
that's what I learned.
Hey, I did
for those
good.
of you that are
Did you
listening,
learn something good?
my elitists that are listening to us, our advice is non-elitist advice. Our advice is for the players, by the players. This is for the people that don't watch the method
elite
videos and are
casual
not
advice.
up method skirt. These are the average everyday players that need help without the elitist attitude. So if those of you are saying, no, you're wrong, you're wrong. We're not wrong, because there's 5 different ways to do one thing. This is how we've done it. When Spam gives you his meatballs, it's because we've done it in a raid. He's giving you what we do and how we do our procedure. You could take that check to the bank, because it's been done, because we killed boss. So.
Oh yeah. That's why you waited so long for another slice.
Well, which are now in raviolis, apparently. I don't like
ravioli hamburgers.
Hamburger.
Since I'm Italian, if my mother ever knew I had canned ravioli in my cabinet, she would slap the shit out of me, because you don't do canned ravioli.
She does realize you have 3-year-olds.
To her, I should spend all day in the kitchen making ravioli, and I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. But
yeah.
So it looks like it's about that time. We're going to wrap things up. Thank you, Bloke, for being a fill-in. We love having you on the show. We appreciate it. We had a lot of good stuff this episode. If you want to get a hold of any one of us, feel free to go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Pwnecast, and inbox. You can attention anybody. We all get those messages. If you would like to get in touch with Lycan for your lore stuff, it's lycan@pwnecast.net. These guys all have emails. I know that Spam and Bryza don't know how to use them. So you can tweet.
I'm super easy.
He is easy. I mean, I didn't say that. He said it.
I'm on that.
You heard it. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. He's super easy. Easy peasy.
Spammy.
Easy peasy.
Yes. If you're on
Argentina and you're good to go.
If you're on Argentina looking for me, go buy the vendors in Storm Shield, the PvP vendors.
Don't forget about Price's contest.
Right there.
First person that screenshots him.
Yeah.
And you can get a hold of Huge Bloke exclusively on Pwnecast, because he's with Pwnecast full time. We're excited and stoked about that. That's where you can find him. Here's what happens when people don't realize the assets that they have. Bell acquires them and keeps them, because that's what makes us excel in the big world. So Thank you guys for being on the show with me, so I don't have to be here alone because that would really suck. And thank you guys for watching and listening and spending your hour with us every day. We love having you guys here. You're the reason we do this. Without you guys, I'd be fucking around in my garrison reading the news or doing something.
Wouldn't we all?
I mean,
You got a thumb up your butt.
I flex sometimes in my garrison, not gonna lie. I have awesome side boob on Belle, so it just is.
You flex your thumb.
We're done. Bye, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
You're supposed to do this.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
How is that even a thing? How did you come out? You were the one sperm in a million that made it, Christ. You were the one.
I killed the rest of them.
Are you still recording? Are we going to fall for that again?
How do you even use one sperm? I don't.
All the other ones are too busy kicking back, watching TV.
Look, I know
You
that
want to be in the A?